Tim Buckley, Starsailor, a classic review of the 1970 album from Tim Buckley. Now, I believe there are some personal issues in regards to his son, Jeff Buckley, who's also a very famous musician. I'm sure you know him if you've heard of Tim Buckley, but I don't know a great deal about that, and I don't feel confident enough to speak about that, so I'll acknowledge that there may have been problems with Tim as a person in his personal life, but I'm just going to be strictly talking about the music. And Tim as a musician, man, he was something else, man. This album is manic, weird, all over the place. The vocals at points are just insanity. This album was set out to break a few boundaries and then probably broke a few more than it was expecting to break. It's very hard to categorize what this album really was. I suppose the most common descriptor that you see for this one is avant folk, which is certainly one of those genre tags that might not exactly have that much weight to it. I mean, what does avant folk really even mean? But I guess this is an album you could certainly describe as avant-garde. But even with that in mind, it's also important to note that Tim can actually craft a really good tune at points, like with tracks like Moulin Rouge. There's nothing really too surreal or odd about this one. It's just a generally nice little singer-songwriter tune. And that's what I love about this album. I love the massive jump that you get between the ordinary moments and then the completely out of nowhere freaky, just spazzed out crazy moments. Monterey has this great little guitar riff playing, and Tim is just wailing the fuck over the instrumental, and I love it. I love it. And he takes it a step further with a track like Jungle Fire as well, where he's just like, Mama, over this almost jazzy instrumental as well. It's like some modern day Scott Walker type stuff, like Bish Bosh or something like that. And lyrically, you're not really getting any answers as to what he's really singing about throughout this album at points. It is just randomness sometimes, but you just don't question it. You just accept it and you move on, and it's fine. Healing Festival brings back that avant-garde jazzness that I mentioned earlier as well. And this track right here, man, is just an absolute noisy mess. Like, if you listen to this and you said this was one of the worst things you've ever heard, I wouldn't question it. Like, I would just say, yeah, I mean, it is. You're not wrong, but it's fucking good. The good thing is that it doesn't just come out of nowhere. I mean, it's not like you could just be shocked that this would be here, when most of the other tracks leading up to this are also weird and wacky in their own way as well. He has such an odd demeanor about him that a song like this absolutely maintains its purpose on an album like this. The track that stands out completely differently, though, to every other track is Song to the Siren. This is perhaps his most famous song due to it being covered by plenty of other artists throughout the history of music. But not only that, but it is just a much more lusher type of track. It's very, very beautiful with its presentation. The song is referencing something that's not quite so beautiful, though. Greek mythology here, with the sirens being these dangerous creatures that would lure in sailors at the sea, and then who knows what they would do with them next. And the song itself is just so beautiful. His voice is so wonderful on this one, and the fact that you can go from this to something completely random and out there and experimental, especially for its time as well, in 1970, it just makes him all the more impressive as a singer-songwriter and musician. The album ends off with Down by the Borderline, which is this funky as hell, like, jazz number to close things off. It's got the horns, it's got the goddamn horns. You know that I love horns. Once again, Tim is just riffing here. He is just going all over the place with his voice, with his and somehow, I just want to dance. I just want to dance to this shit, man. I don't know why, but it's some freaky funk. And that's the album. That is the album. Starsailor is all over the place, but it's extremely, extremely impressive. It is an absolute masterpiece of an album. And I don't know how all the elements work in the ways that they do, but they just somehow do. Tim was one of a kind as an artist, and he has excellent albums in his discography, including this one, but this is definitely his most celebrated album. And so far, listening through his albums, this would be the one I would say is his best. But is that good? There could be one in his albums that's even better than this. Maybe I'll discover that one day. But yeah, thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoy Tim Buckley as much as I do. But if you don't, let me know. Just comment with an opinion, that's all fine. Thank you for watching this classic review. Have a good day and goodbye.